Greetings everybody, my name is Tommy and welcome to my channel. Well, today I'm reviewing a game by WayForward called Shantae Risky Revenge. It's a sequel to a Game Boy Color game called Shantae. And if you've never played Shantae, well, you can pick it up on the 3DS Virtual Console dirt cheap, or you can actually go out and buy the Game Boy Color version and pay what is probably a college education worth of money because it's the rarest game for that system. Either way, it's a good game. Risky's Revenge came out for the DSi several years ago, and back then it was considered the only game worthy of really trading in the GBA slot that was found on the DS Lite for the downloadable content of the DSiWare. Now with it being ported to the consoles and PC, which is the version I will be reviewing by the way, how does this game hold up? Well, it's still really fun and a really charming game, but it does have quite a few flaws that I need to talk about. Normally I start off with the story and then I move on to the gameplay, but I have to tackle the graphics first in this one because to me it's one of the biggest problems in the game, and that is the graphics are a mixed bag, which is a shame. The problem with the PC version of this game is they didn't really do a lot of upscaling and making sure that this game looked good when blown up to like a 23-inch computer monitor screen, which is what I game on. And when I kick this thing into full screen, it does look rather jaggy. You can see pixels, and it just doesn't look very smooth or very good, which is really a big shame because there were efforts put into the graphics in this game. Look, you get a lot of hand-drawn sprites, you got a lot of beautiful animation going on with the game. It's kind of a shame that it's done in such a low resolution. Still, once you get past the low resolution, like I said, there's a lot of charm in these character designs, there's a lot of charm in the animation that's used for this game, and just this whole setting. So I can't really say the game looks like crap when you have such these beautiful sprites running around. It's just a shame that they're too low res for modern day TV gaming, at least when it comes to this PC version. And if you want to know what I mean by they didn't do a really good job upgrading this, here is a video of me using my Roxio game capture device, which I use to capture my video game consoles. I hooked it up to my PC this time, and as you can see here that it doesn't really even go completely full screen. And like I said, it's a bit of a disappointment. It's by no means a reason not to buy this game. I'm not saying that, but it is a bit of a disappointment. And it does take me out of the experience just a little bit. Alright, now that I got that complaint out of the way, let's take a look at the actual story of this game. Basically, our hero Shantae is a half-genie in charge of protecting her hometown of Scuttletown. She managed to drive off the pirate Risky Boots once last time. However, now Risky is back for revenge and has stolen some sort of magic lamp that Shantae's uncle is scared about. However, in order to really use this magic lamp, Risky needs some magic seals, and Shantae is now after the barons that now hold them in their possession so she can collect them and keep them safe. The game is kinda charming and a little bit on the silly side. Yeah, you don't have characters look like this without just a little bit of innuendo in there, and trust me, there's plenty. Plus, there's a great callback to Contra 3, and I have to give points for that WayForward. And by the way, WayForward also made Contra 4 for the Nintendo DS, so they do have some history with that franchise as well. The best way to describe Shantae Risky Revenge is it's like Castlevania 2. You know, if Castlevania 2 was actually good. You have an open world with dungeons to find and puzzles to solve and clear. The map for the most part is fairly open, but you will need to unlock certain animal abilities before you can proceed through some areas. Yeah, in the dungeons that Shantae finds and explores, you will find fountains that have what looks like to be a very naked genie inside of them, which will give Shantae her animal abilities, which can be accessed by holding down the Y button to have her do a belly dance. The monkey transformation can jump up high and climb on things. The elephant can charge through things. And finally, the mermaid can jump and swim underneath water. Also, each of these animal transformations have their own power-ups. You can get things like going through the air as a bullet with the monkey, and a few other power-ups for each of the transformations, and it really does make each of these transformations special and very useful. As far as attacks and abilities go, Shantae has her magical whipping hair that can act a lot like Simon Belmont's whip in Castlevania. She can also purchase magic abilities from the store, and these things come from fireballs to magical iron balls that can form around her and protect her, as well as some other useful things like life-refilling potions. The world design for the most part is flawless, and the dungeons and their puzzles can be hard, but they're never over the top. The bosses are well done and incredibly fun, and I wish there were more of them, and they even included a pretty fun shoot-'em-up stage. This game is old school to its core, but it's never old school in the way that is over the top frustrating. However, on the bad side, the game isn't too long. It's only about 5 hours at most, and that's if you're kind of just casually strolling through the game like I was. It's trying to have that Metroid curve of replaying the game again to see how many items you can collect and what's the lowest time, and you'll get different pictures at the end of the game depending on these factors, and that's what your goal is, to try to unlock all the pictures. It's kind of similar to the way that you did that in Metroid Zero mission. Also, to increase the replay a little bit more, the Steam version has the dancer costume that can be unlocked after you beat the game. Similar to putting Samus in a swimsuit after you beat the original Metroid, this puts Shantae in a dancer's bikini that increases her magic but decreases her defense. Haven't played much with this costume, but it looks like it's going to be an interesting idea in more ways than one. There's also some Steam achievements, and some of them are on the ridiculously hard to get side, so are plenty of things to keep a person happy. I should also mention the game did crash on me a few times as well. It's just a PC thing, and it is a little annoying when it happens, but it didn't stop me from playing or enjoying the game. For the sound, some really good Mid-Eastern themes. No real voice acting here outside of some grunts. Overall, the music is actually pretty good. Not the best way forward soundtrack, but it's still really good. I give Shantae a 4 out of 5. Yeah, the graphics could have used a little bit more of an update when it comes to the whole HD thing, but for the most part they look fine and are really charming. The gameplay's pretty good, the overworld's great. The game's a little bit on the short side, but again, it does have some replayability because it's just a fun game. It definitely tops my recommendation list. I give it a 4 out of 5. Definitely check this game out. In the meantime, I invite you to click on that subscribe button to subscribe to my channel. I do reviews like this all the time. I also do editorial and other content, and I would love to have you as a member of my community. In the meantime, let's check out Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. We'll be doing that next time. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.